So my name is Carl Gilliard, as you just mentioned, and I am a professional actor, producer, and director. I've done lots of things, commercials, feature films. Right now, I'm on a show called The Family Business on BET Plus. Another one called For the Love of Jason. It's on All Black, and now streaming on Amazon Prime. Giant, shameless. I'm just doing my thing the best I can because my wife likes to buy stuff because she's hungry, which is my next point. I am married. This is my third marriage. I've been married for 33 years to three different women, but we'll talk about that later. And what else? Lowe's on the menu. I would absolutely buy. Only a crazy man would get married a third time. He must love. So yes, indeed, I would buy it if it was on the menu, Tameka.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you. I can't wait to hear about these 3 marriages in 33 years. I can't wait. All right, Chris, CL, tell us about yourself.
Oh, wow. Well, hi, guys. My name is Chris Lombard. I'm from New Orleans. What can I say about myself? I'm a single guy, and I'm interested in love, but, I think we need to all live in the reality of the world that we live in today. Well, I guess that's another subject for another day, or maybe today, I don't know. But,
I think so. Mm-hmm. Okay, so then I said if love was on your Valentine's Day menu, would you order? And you said I'm interested. So that means there's not a yes or a no.
Oh, sure, I would order it. I would definitely order it.
Okay.
Who don't want love for Valentine?
Oh.
Or any time at that.
Yes. Already. Okay, I love it. All right, Saleem, you're up next.
Yeah, Chris said if. That's a big word. So my name is Saleem. I am a community builder and also an IT engineer as well. I'm definitely a lover. Finding it in a city like Los Angeles is tough, but been working at it, making some progress, and making some more.
Okay. All right. Okay. I like it. Off to a good start already. All right, guys. So, the first question is dating multiple people at one time. I'm going to go with you first, CL. Dating multiple people at one time. Would you order this from your menu and tell me why or why not?
Honestly, I would order it because how do you compare and contrast? How do you be able to tell, okay, well, she's more interested in what I'm interested in, or, vice versa. So I would order it to be able to compare. And that's the reason why, to be able to compare.
Yeah. Because that's what dating is, right?
Well, honestly, especially these gentlemen that I just met tonight, seems like, all these gentlemen are a catch. So I believe that you need to have tryouts for, the prize. And I believe these gentlemen are prizes.
Well, come on. Yes. Prizes. All right. I think y'all are prizes too. Very good. What about you, Carl? Dating more than one woman at one time?
Well, I'm married now, but before I got married, of course, I certainly agree with Chris. I dated multiple women at one time. Until I got settled on one, until, it was announced or we confirmed that we were now exclusive. But before that, absolutely did. Sometimes it gets you in trouble when you're not clear in the way you communicate. But I tried to do that. And I think that we should date multiple people until we settle on one person. And women should as well. And sometimes they miss that boat. But certainly as men, we should, for sure.
Yeah.
So, I would order that.
You just said something that made me raise my eyebrow. You said, as long as you're clear. Yes. Tell me a little more about that.
Well, back in the Stone Age when I was single, when I would, take women out, I was always very clear. I wasn't like telling women that they were the only one when they weren't. I was not very good at misrepresentation. Now, sometimes I was misinterpreted, but I do what I do. You know what I'm saying? I can't be totally responsible for your misinterpretation when I know that I've been clear. But that said, If I was dating, my wife, for example, when I started dating her, I was dating other people, and I was very clear with her about it, and she knew it. And I think that it was her behavior upon receiving that news is what really ultimately won me over. But that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
But and listen, I enjoyed that. I love meeting women. I love being in the company of a really beautiful woman, and it was fun. But then once I found that one, I said, oh, that's it. I'm done. And I was done. And I let everybody know, okay, now you off the block. Now I got this one. Sometimes that, was troublesome. You got in a little bit of trouble for that moment. But, as long as you're honest throughout the time, people tend to circle back and catch up. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. And I want to circle back to something you said, but let me ask you, Saleem, with multiple dating or dating multiple women, are you clear? Have you been clear in the past?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Although I think there's a thing where sometimes people hear what they want to hear. That definitely happens. Actually, I'm like super interested in Carl. What you said makes what it was about your wife that in her behavior that made you like that.
Well, I had I was dating 2 or 3 people when she came into the picture, and my wife to this day is extraordinarily kind. And when I told her that I was dating other people, she did not cut me off. She didn't give me any ultimatums. She just stayed herself. She stayed very firmly in her position without any sort of coercion that was like pushing me to come toward her. And whenever I would call her to go out or to hang out, she was available. And I think that behavior really turned me on. And then the other thing was that she kind of saw my heart, in terms of my life plan, my purpose. She bought into that, was just very encouraging and uplifting. And I just felt powerful, I mean, and that's kind of what I think anyway. If a woman is not really adding to your life that way, then, you shouldn't be with her. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, I've been married 2 times. Quite frankly, I was ready to not do it no more because I said, I'm free. I got clear of this bad situation. I live in LA. There's all these women out here. I got, from the ages 35 to about 55. That's a big window. I said, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, you're right.
And then here she comes, and I just could not leave her on the market. I think that when women come at you that way and they just touch your soul, if you're ready to be married, if that's something that really appeals to you, which I don't really think that it really should have, given what I've been through. To your answer, Saleem, long story short, was that she made the offer that I could not refuse. I'm a big Godfather fan.
Well, just go on and drop the mic. I'm just saying.
That's what happened. It happened. Yeah.
They touch your soul. Yes. That's awesome. So, Saleem, did that help you out? Give you a little more insight?
For sure.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so let me go back to you, CL. Talking about your ex to your next, would you order?
No, I don't. I don't order it at all because I fell into that trap so many times. And, clearly there's a curiosity and they want to know. But I think when we feed into that, it feeds into a negativity because eventually she's going to come back and use that against me in an argument when she pissed off. So I'm not going to give her that ammunition. So I'm going to say, no, baby, I'm not ordering that for my menu. Okay.
Okay. So you don't feel like it would help your next relationship at all. So you're just totally, you're not ordering.
No.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
What about you, Saleem?
No, but with one caveat. If they're going to be in a physical space with that person, because I've had some situations in the past where I didn't, and they were in the space, and there were some really weird energies and behaviors that I was oblivious to until later on.
In the same space, that sounds like that could get a little hot and heavy.
Yeah, a little bit hairy, Right.
Okay. So you feel like you would not, but you would if they're going to be in the same space, see each other, interact with each other. Yeah. Okay. And what are you, Carl?
Well, I agree with both these brothers, but I have not totally been successful in doing that. And I just think there's a balance there. You know, I give you a parallel that I think is kind of funny. So, as a man, I am not interested in how many guys you slept with, because I don't think that they'll ever give you the true answer anyway. So
Never.
if they tell you 6, you have to multiply by the 10th power, you know, or they tell you 18, multiply times 3.
Right,
so that piece I'm not interested in. But, you know, sometimes, I mean, you know, look, I've been through some pretty tumultuous things, and I did share, I don't know if I overshared, but I did share some of my background with my wife. And, you know, my wife shared, you know, my wife, both of us have been married 3 times. My wife was married to her second husband for 15 years. And we're cool, me and the ex-husband. We're really cool. In fact, I just saw him on a Zoom. Today is my daughter's birthday, and it's actually his daughter biologically, but share her.
Yeah.
So, you know, I know a little bit about the relationship. I don't know a lot about it. We don't sit around talking about it all the time, but, you know, we've been married now for almost 7 years, and I'd be lying if I told you that I've never talked about my ex relationships and specifically my marriages, you know. So, but I do agree with the methodology and philosophy that CL presented, because if you talk about too much of it, it will come up later. Ain't nothing to do about that. You ain't nothing to sit there like this.
Right. Why did I do that?
Right.
You know, my wife has never done that.
God bless you, brother.
She has never done that. Now, my second wife did. She'd always throw stuff up in my face, just all the time. So I believe that maybe what I have in my current situation is an anomaly. It's just, you know, it's just not normal. So and I also think it's really in the marriage too, that saying what's in your mind, whatever you're feeling, that transparency is kind of the bridge to closeness and being closer, which I think is the ultimate goal in the marriage. That's what as well.
Yeah, good. So then I would summarize this by saying you should not talk about your ex with your next. If you do, just share a little. Don't
tread light.
Tread lightly.
I tread lightly.
I like that, Chris. Tread lightly.
That's right, Chris. I feel you on that. I definitely
got it. Okay, so this next one is gonna get a little, you know, we're gonna get more intense. Sex before marriage. Saleem. And take your time with it.
No time required. It's a requirement that yes. Yeah.
Okay. Now you know you can't just say yeah and not talk to us about it. Tell us.
I mean, that's an important. It's not the most important part of life. This sexual energy, sexual space, but it's a really important one. That the satisfaction is there. So definitely need to sample the goods beforehand.
Okay, so you know I'm gonna get a little nosy here. All right. So that is a common thing I've heard from men, right? There's always the controversy about, okay, to have sex or not to have sex before marriage. And I hear a lot about, you know, I have to sample the goods. I have to see what's going on. I don't want to enter a marriage and then get into it and the sex is awful and we're not compatible or whatever, right? But how do you feel that it would be so terrible that you would have to sample it before diving into a marriage or a full relationship?
So you're asking, like how bad could it be if you don't sample? Basically
in simplistic terms.
My answer is I just don't want to find out that way. It's a risk I'm not willing to take.
Okay, a risk you're not willing to take. Got it. And there are no exceptions?
No. I was engaged twice before. The second woman, we waited probably 6 or 7 months. The engagement didn't end because it was bad. It was other compatibilities. But no, I understand waiting, but for before a life decision, lifelong decision, I just couldn't see it. And I do absolutely believe in the sanctity of marriage and want that. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, brother, for sharing that. How about you, CL? What do you think about sex before marriage? What do you order if it was on your Valentine's Day menu?
Well, that's kind of two questions. Not sure what I'd actually order, but definitely sex before marriage. I mean, let's be honest with you. I think even these gentlemen, I'm sure we're all in the old school cars, and you don't buy a car, you don't purchase a car without test driving it first. So, and clearly I hate to.
Cars, though, Chris. Women are not cars. I'm gonna tell
Exactly. Well, I'm just using exactly. I hated to do that, but I was just using that analogy because with anything, I have to know if I can have that charisma, that moment, that chemistry. Clearly you've been knowing me for a long time. I've had some cars in my time. I have to have that, that feel, what I'm saying? And to get that feel or to find that feel, I got to go in the field. You feel me?
I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying.
Well, babe, I'm just saying. How you know you like that Popeye's chicken sandwich without trying it? I'm just saying.
Are there? Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, are there any exceptions for you? Is you meet a young lady, maybe you fall in love with her. She's different, maybe than the others.
I don't mind waiting if there's per se a certain meeting time. Just we're adults. I don't mind, but clearly I'm not going to make a huge commitment, not knowing if we're not physically compatible. Like to me personally, that just don't make no sense. Like I mean, like my brother said, sex isn't the most important thing, but I mean, I've heard women tell me, what I'm saying, if it ain't right, it ain't right. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be right. How you think I get to be with all these women? Because their situations don't necessarily be right. And that's when that door opens. So to avoid something like that, I'm gonna make sure that me and my significant, we on the same page. Because to get on the same page, y'all got to get on the same page.
Okay. So before I come to you, Carl, I'm going to circle back to Saleem, and then I want you to answer this too, Chris. So again, say you meet a lady and you have chemistry in every other area. You two have become BFFs. You're dating, you talk every day. You realize that this is someone you really want in your life. And then she hits you with the 1-2 punch. I'm abstinent.
Yeah, see, I was thinking as Theo was talking, I'm not wishing any ill on her relationship, but say Kelly Rowland became single. I know enough about her that I would marry her without.
Now, who's that? Kelly Rowland?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You know enough about her that you would marry her, you said?
Yes, and we don't have to, we can skip the sex. We can get married before sex.
But how do you know?
I feel you, Saleem.
It's Kelly Rowland.
It's worth a chance. It's worth a try.
You don't know her. You just know what you see of her in the media.
I met her twice. She has a glow around her, and I feel like that glow, that aura is perfect.
Okay. So only Kelly. Kelly is the only one that you would wait for.
I think so. Yeah.
I can't.
I love that. I
love it too. Okay. But she's married, so CL, how about you? She hit you with the 1-2 punch.
Well, honestly, Tameka, there's a lot of women that tell me that they're abstinent, right? They're abstinent, right? You know, that's a lot of times that's just a throw off. A lot of times that's just to see, they're trying to see where your head is, or just try to see how you react. So she could say what she want. You understand what I'm saying? You can say what you want, baby, but you know, come on. I didn't say it. I done heard it a million times. You know, I done heard it a million times. I just say I heard it all before, and we
Okay.
just laugh it off and just keep moving on. Cause baby, come on.
Oh, okay. Well, ladies, y'all hearing this? This is a single brother talking. He said you could say it all you want, but the underlying text I hear is that he's still gonna, yeah.
Well, no. What I'm saying is, I'm sure I don't think she's jumping from this one to this one. Maybe she is, but I don't think she's jumping from this one to this one because trust me, a lot of times when I meet women, that's the first thing they say. Like we wouldn't even have a conversation about sex, you know. And I think that what it is they're just trying to see where I'm at and how I'm gonna respond to it. You know, it's just try to see where my head is. But I mean, clearly, we all meet each other physically. We all, you know, we can't just say, "Oh, well, I know this person, so I'm gonna go ahead and rock with it." We all look at the physical, and I think the physical speaks for itself. You know, so she might be practicing, but physically, you know, she didn't already had sex with me in her mind already. You know,
now that's
I've had women tell me that millions of times. It's like, boy, please. I just was playing with you. I just was, you know, like, baby, I know, you know, and we laugh it off because it's somewhat of a joke, right?
Woo! All right. And Adrian, I see that question. I'm getting to it. So Carl, would you order sex before marriage?
You know, these brothers really teed up my answer perfectly. And I'm going to kind of take a curve on this. So by virtue of self-disclosure, I am a believing Christian. And so even though a lot of people in the church find ways to skirt around it and say, well, you know, I got needs, I actually believe what the Bible says about this. Now, let's go further. Did I do that? No. No, I didn't. But I'll also say, to Saleem's point, I never used sex as a lever. I never went into it and saying, okay, I'm going to get this sex. If a woman stuck to her guns and said, you know what, you ain't getting it, it was not a deal breaker for me. As a matter of fact, the second marriage that was terrible, you know, she was a terrorist. We never slept together the entire time before we got married. Okay. Now, was the sex good? The sex was great. It was fine.
Okay.
So I have a whole theory on this that these brothers may disagree on. In fact, I'm sure they will. But this is my whole point of view. I don't need, but I'm older though. I don't know if that's the reason why, I don't know, but I don't really need to test it. I can get the energy, the kiss, the embrace, the body connection, the intimacy we have that's not sexual. I can determine from that.
Yeah.
And I think that the second marriage was an example. Now, maybe I just lucked out. Okay, you can say that. It's valid. But I didn't want to do that. I really wanted to please God in my relationships. And I failed many, many times, brother. So listen when I tell you. I'm not trying to put myself out there as this kind of, you know, I was celibate for 4-5 years. And I think part of the reason why I was willing to get married again is because I was a Christian. I think if I were not a believer, I might not have got married the third time. Let's be real. I don't think that I might not have done it. Because why should I? But I'm glad I did. It's the best thing for me. But to answer your question about the sex before marriage, yes, I would order it. And the times that I fell short was the times, to CL's point, that they literally threw it at me. And I don't have the ability to say no. I'm not good at that. Have I said no before? Yes, I have. But by and large, it's not a good idea to be at my crib taking off things. And I'm not going to say, put your clothes on and get out of here. I'm just not doing it.
What did Bishop J say? Man, thou art loosed.
You know? So I think, and then the other thing is, I got a buddy who told me, that he has hit on many Christian women, to CL's point, that are the biggest freaks that he's ever dealt with. This is what he told me. I ain't gonna name his name, but he told me. And I can kind of see that. And it's kind of why I believe that women in the church and people in general should really seek marriage as a serious option. Instead of getting out here and boning. Oops, I slipped. Oops, I fell. Oops, I got needs. Position yourself, become a husband, become a wife, and make a decision and get married. You know, the scripture says it is better to marry than to burn. You know what I'm talking about, Dr. Bob.
Yes, I do.
That means literally marry so your butt don't fall. That's what the scripture means.
And yes.
Yeah, because I don't have that ability. I'm 62 now. I can do a little. If I was single right now, I'd probably do a lot better because I don't have the sex drive I had when I was 35. You know, but I don't want to even take. I don't want to even deal with that fire. So
yeah,
that's my answer. Yeah.
Woo! Woo! It's hot in here. So, so no, the flesh is weak. I get it, guys. I thank you for your honest answers. The flesh is weak, and absolutely, you know, I hear you, Chris. I hear you, Saleem. I believe what the Bible says, Carl, and I also understand again that the flesh is weak. And I do think, you know, I've heard that sentiment, you know, about church girls and Christian women and, you know, are the freaks or in the PKs or the worst ones and all that. But hey, there are Christian women who are really walking, you know.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I mean, my second wife.
I believe that as well.
She was walking. You know what I'm saying? And if I met someone like that and I was loving her, I would have stayed celibate. I wouldn't have done anything. That's my point. That's me. But you know, I can't speak to the other ones. But no, I know they're out there, but there's a lot of them who aren't.
Yeah,
I believe they're out there.
Yeah, they're out there.
Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah. And another thing you said about with your second wife, you abstained, and you know the sex ended up being great. I also believe what you mentioned about intimacy. You know, sometimes you can tell from the hugs and the kisses and the cuddling and you know things of that nature. If you have a connection with that person, chances or you know the sex will be good. And so that's just something you know to think about.
And let me lay it out again in terms of the marriage-mindedness piece, in terms of the buying over the long term. So I've been married, like I said, a long time, and the sex part. I'm not going to say it goes away, but it becomes less of an issue in terms of staying together. There are people who get divorced that are having great sex, but they get divorced.
Absolutely.
You know saying? Sex, money, these things that people list as the things that why they break up. It's just, I'm not trying to say it's not present. I'm saying there's some deeper meaning on why it doesn't work out. See? So if sex is important, quite frankly, then just date and find somebody you can have sex with or people and leave it alone. Yeah.
Hey, sounds good to me. All right. Okay, guys. All right. So we're at the halfway mark. So let's take it just maybe a step down. And the next thing on the menu is women hitting up men in the DMs. Saleem, would you want for a woman to hit you up in the DM?
You can't hear him.
Oh, you're muted.
So sorry, I forgot I was muted. I don't mind it. When it has happened, more often than not, they start off with trying to make it about business or something. I would prefer they just be more direct, but you know, it is what it is. Right.
Right. Celine, now listen, she doesn't want to seem like a thought out here, right? So she wants to try to be professional. She's already nervous. So she's gotta, you know, make it about business or whatever.
Listen, I think one of the biggest things holding back Black people, Black women in particular, is the shame thing. Like, we want attention, men and women. We want to be loved, and you know, I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago, Tameka, about the the thing where a lot of us were taught or overheard someone say that you have to love the person that you're with less. You have to like them less than they like you.
Yeah.
Which I think is just like a waste of energies. Like, because you're never, if you're moving in that way and you're moving out of that fear and love don't exist in the same space.
Come on.
So you're then like not fully giving yourself. So you're not fully giving yourself in the relationship the possibility and the possibility of what it could be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. Fear and love can't coexist, right? I don't subscribe to that either. One person has to love the other more and all that. Yeah. Thank you for that, Saleem. CL.
I don't even. I'm not even sure how to answer. Why don't you ask me the question again?
Okay, all right.
I'm not even sure I want to answer this.
Would you or do you believe in women hitting you up in the DMs, maybe for a date because they like you for sex or whatever? I don't know.
Well, I mean, I believe in it because it happens. And, you know, I can appreciate it. Me personally, of course, I'm just talking to me personally. I can appreciate it because, you know, think about the DM, you know, social media. They're only just seeing the things that we post and we put out there. So clearly there's more layers to everybody in whatever realm. Mm-hmm. But I don't have a problem with it. But I'm just like the brother Saleem. Mm-hmm. Baby, get to the point. Come on. Baby, I know why you're here. I mean, and don't get me wrong. Sometimes the ladies are being nice. They're saying, hey, you know, you look nice. That's a nice background, yada, yada, yada. And that's cool. Mm-hmm. But when it's the real deal, just go ahead. Go with your move. Because that's what you're doing anyway. You know, and like the brother said, you know, we all want attention. And I think some women are so proud that they miss out. They miss out by not reaching out and not speaking out. You know, God, please, why am I the one to mention it? Valentine's Day is coming up, and I know at least about 1.3 million women that are going to be alone and lonely because they're too proud to say, hey, brother, you're looking nice. You know, I see, you know, they already done stalked your page. They know everything, you know, postally about you already. You know, okay, I don't see you with too many girls or you know, with your girl or your woman or whatever. You know, what can we do? You know, I'm a lady, I'm scared, like you say, I'm nervous or what have you. But hey, reach out with the truth. I just don't think that the women today are as honest as they could be, which would help kind of grease the wheels in this thing we call loving situations.
Wow, that was so insightful. They're saying that a problem with Black women is we're too proud, and sometimes we, you know, feel shameful or maybe even embarrassed to do it. And I'll say, I've just let me speak as a Black woman. I have never done it before. One time I actually wanted to do it. Maybe, you know, a few years back, I wanted to do it. And like you said, Chris, I looked at the profile.
Stalked them out. All time. Come on.
Look at everything, you know, reading all the posts. And I think I actually composed it. As a matter of fact, I think I might have hit send and then deleted, if I'm not mistaken. But I was like, no.
Let me be the first one to say it. You know, clearly, you know, I've spent time with MJ, and you know, you miss 100%.
Sorry,
Michael Jordan, right?
Okay, yeah.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
This is true.
So we would be proud of you for stepping out there and saying, okay, baby, let's knock all this, bullshit out the way. You know, let's get to it. You know, we would be proud to say, okay, well, yeah, she was so interested enough that she reached out to me, because I'm telling you, you know, of course, you know, I hear it after the fact. It was like, well, boy, woo, 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 woo. Boy, I could have been woo, 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 woo. Well, what you waiting on, baby? Because you damn sure ain't getting no younger. So you need to go with your move and get out your own way. Get out your own way. Because if we all searching for love, why does yours stop at the send button or not send button? You feel me? I hear him complain. I read it and see him complaining every day. But they won't get out their own way because, like the brother said, you could have met someone and y'all could have had that energy, y'all could have had that vibe going, but whatever the latest reasons are and going forward.
Okay, well, past the collection plate. So let me just we're created to be hunters, but in this new time, men are appreciating that more. I've never been a hunter. I just don't know how. It's not in me.
So basically, I feel the old hunter thing, and I'm a hunter. I'm not saying that I need for a woman to approach that. He's right here. But I think the key, and this is the difficult part about being a woman, and I feel bad for y'all on this piece, okay? It's how you do it.
Yeah.
Some women are just really good. And beyond the whole hitting you up for the business thing, that may be a little transparently weak. But there's certain things that women can do to let us know that they in. Right? Without hitting you up every day or coming across too strong. Personally, women who come across too strong, it signals to the brothers that, hey, there's some free cookie right here I'm about to give you. So that's one thing. But it coming across in a way that is clearly just interested and friendly and kind, you give me a little bit more attention than the guy next to me kind of thing, I think can work very well for a woman who has her act together. Now, if you're crazy, it doesn't gonna work. So if you're crazy, you need to just not do it. If you got your act like you, Dr. Bob, let's take you for an example. So you got your act together and you're doing a great job tonight. I'm very impressed with the kind of job you're doing with all of us.
And thank you.
So if you hit up on a brother and were just kind and had your hair like you got it and you're smiling and just being kind, the brother will say, dang, I like her. So then he can go into hunt mode because he's like you woken up about his sleep. And that's sometimes with brothers, sometimes we just sleep. We just don't even see you. Really, So this is when the approach becomes necessary and relevant because now you waking us up because we wouldn't have seen you otherwise. But you got to watch it though. It's just a balancing act for y'all, and it's not easy.
Yeah. It's not. Thank you. Thank you for that.
The timing aspect is so on point. It's so on point, especially with you guys. You guys don't know how important that is. I don't know if you guys even realize it. There's certain days we can walk up on you and you ain't thinking about us because of wherever you're at. It could be another time. It's on. You guys drive so much of that, and you need to understand that you do. The thing about us though is that we have kind of the pick, and the mistake that I think a lot of women make, and I'm digressing, you didn't ask me this, but I'll say it. Sometimes the ladies think that them telling us no is hurting us. It's like, oh, I'm going to break your face. Well, let me tell you something. There's so many opportunities. And people say, well, they're not all really good opportunities. That's true. They're not all good opportunities.
Right.
But there's enough of them to keep you busy. So if you say no to a brother, don't say no like you trying to break his face because in the back of my mind, we're laughing at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very loudly.
I don't know who needs that, but
I've actually laughed in their face. Yeah. Like, baby, please.
All love. Well, somebody
please.
said that, Carl and Chris. I agree with that. I think a woman should always be respectful. You're not interested, then tell a brother no, thank you, or whatever. But also for those men, I think it's my responsibility to say you also be respectful. You know what I mean? It should be a respectful exchange.
Fair enough.
No, for sure. Don't try to use the power of the P because in actuality, we just because your P could be powerful, but your P ain't powerful than these other 20 that's waiting.
Come on, subject. We can go another hour with that.
I'm saying that I don't care how fine you are. I don't care how much money you have. I just don't care. If you tell me no, you can think you all puffed up all you want to, but believe me, I'm moving on. and probably in the next 10 minutes or less. So I
Or
just
less.
think that lining up, exactly your true worth in that moment is good for some women to do. And that's a whole other thing I want to talk about there that I just came to my mind about being kind. And I think that some women think that they can turn it on, turn it off.
Mhm.
What you should do is being kind all the time. Practice being that woman that the man you want to choose you can choose you and see who you are. Because you can't just turn it on like that. So
Yeah.
even if a guy comes up on you and you don't want to talk to him, it's a good idea to practice being nice about it, because the impression it leaves on a man is just incredible, and it sets you up for the man who you want to be chosen by to find you.
I
So
love
that's
that part. Those are words to live by. I had an old pastor who used to say, just be nice. You know what I mean? It's that simple. It's not deep. Just what do you think about women proposing to men?
Not the biggest fan in the world of it. It actually happened to me once before. We ended up being engaged. So she didn't propose. She told me that she wanted to marry me. I proposed a few months later. So, but straight out proposal, like I've seen in some videos that women down on the knee. Not a fan of that at all.
Wow. So then, this woman told you she wanted to marry you. Which was that okay with you? Just that part?
Yeah, it was. It was like I don't know if I say a joke to the system, but it was a joke to the relationship in the sense that, I was younger. I was just going by the fly, the seat of my chair, and when that happened, like at the time, I just thought, she's super beautiful. I'm happy to be here with her each time I spend the time with her. And that was partially some self-esteem at that time in my life, issues. But once she expressed that, I saw that like she took it as something more serious, and she took me as someone more serious than probably even at that point in my life I took myself.
So it was timing. It was timing. Now, did I miss that? Did you say she actually proposed though?
No, she told me one night laying down that she did, and I proposed three or so months later.
Oh, okay. But was there marriage?
No, I've never been married.
Okay. All right. So you kind of took it as a joke. You were young, but then you turned around and proposed. So, but
no, I didn't take her words as a joke. I didn't take the relationship as serious because I didn't believe that she liked me that much or that she could like me that much until she said those words.
Got it. Okay. Now, CL, I saw you kind of chuckling over there when I asked about women proposing to men. What are your thoughts? You're on mute.
Yeah. I don't necessarily have a problem with it. I think the bolder women in this world get what they want out of everything in life, as well as men too. But I don't necessarily have a problem with it. I guess it was me in that situation. I would be taken back, but I don't think I'd have a problem with it. It's we live in a different time, and if we want to continue to progress as individuals in a society, we must be able to start thinking past what was either taught to us, given to us, passed down to us, because we don't all think at the same pace. We don't all learn at the same place. So I don't think we should make all these major life decisions, like the Joneses or whoever. I think to each his own, just like the brother said about a little push and a little encouragement. Some ladies, I've had it in the past where they'll let you know that, they would marry you, and they would say yes. I guess that's a way to say they'd say yes if you asked or what have you. But I don't necessarily have a issue with it, but I think we all should, really step outside of ourselves and ask ourselves, do we really want what we want, or do we want it conveniently for us?
With all due respect to whomever wants to do that, the answer is no. But that's me. No, no.
Yeah.
I mean,
And your
I don't
reason?
think I can really explain it other than to say no.
Yeah.
So, so this isn't directly to do with the marriage thing, but with women pursuing. Like Chris said about the bold. A lot of Black folks look at the relationship of Ciara and Russell Wilson as like this vaulted thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people forget that Ciara with Russell Wilson, with the ball player Amari Stoudemire, with a couple of the other famous gentlemen that she dated,
Mm-hmm.
she was a pursuer. She was the bold one. She was the one that gave them some other levels of courage. And so, not saying it's for everyone, but that's the thing.
Good example. Good point. Yeah. Thank you for that example.
If the woman actually is in that position where she wants to ask me, or she's about to get down on her knee, if I'm on the same page with her, I would actually stop her, and then do it right. I mean, I believe me and these gentlemen, we're all old school. We're old school, and there's new things that go on, but some things are sacred, and some things we try to keep, because you don't want her to have to deal with her mama and them, her auntie and them. Oh, you heard how she whoop whoop whoop. Yeah, you want to save her from that.
Right.
But if a woman is that bold enough in that, and we got to be on the same page, and she, baby, hold up, I got this. Look, come on, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. I just wanted to let that be known.
I love what Sister said, because if I'm in that situation, I'd be very surprised if I wanted to marry her, we're on the same page, that she would beat me to the punch anyway. I mean, I don't know who that woman would be. That's it, to your point. Yeah, yes, exactly right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love that, guys. See, I love Black men. That yes, we don't want just come on, get up, and we'll do this the right way. So
Right.
yes. Great. So the last menu item is accepting full financial responsibility in a relationship as the man. Would you order, Saleem?
I would have before, but frankly, in the past few years, the women that I've dated in LA and DC, a lot of them are doing like super duper well for themselves. I make a 6-figure salary and do some other things on the side, but these Black women are doing amazing, and these $17,000 bags and such are not in my purview at this particular point in time. So they can buy those for themselves and pay that bill.
Okay. So you would take care of the household, but you expect them to take care of, their wants, the bags and the shoes and the things.
That type of one, yeah. For now, anyway. Until I get there, until I catch up.
Yeah. Okay. Love it. How about you, Carl?
Well, the question would be really, am I doing that now? The answer is no. Is it something that I aspire to do? And I think that Saleem kind of echoes this for me. I think it's totally appropriate. If I were doing like as well as I'd like to be doing, I'd have no problem stepping into that role at all. And that day may be coming sooner than later, actually, in my household, but that's a whole nother story. But I have no problem with that. But, let's just say that I could not get married if, my wife wasn't willing to do something, at least for the time being. But in my heart, I see that role as appropriate with me taking care of all the bills.
Thank you. CL, how about you?
Well, there's many facets to this. Being a single gentleman, God has blessed me. I've always been able to have my own, and be well off, I'm very well taken care of. I feel like you're gonna always have your own situation anyway, So I'm gonna take care of home because it's my home. But I'm not. But if we're gonna do this together, because I think this is what this whole situation is about coming together. If we're gonna do this together, we're gonna come together. Then, baby, we need to figure out a way to do this together. Now, we all have. I love the old school cars. I love, traveling all over the world. So I'm sure you should be responsible enough to take care of your own habits, if you will. Baby, if you want to go waste your money on a purse, then I'm sorry. No disrespect to the lady. Baby, if you want to go spend that type of money on a bag, respect. Go spend your hard-earned money on a bag. Now, don't get me wrong. I could give you a gift. It's no problem. But I'm just saying the excessive stuff, because I don't expect a woman to buy me a 77 Impala. Cool. You know what I'm saying? And if she did, God bless her, and I'm gonna rock with her. But I'm just you have to take care of you first. You have to be able to take care of you first. And the rest of the shit shouldn't even matter. Then y'all come together and form a plan, form a level of attack on how y'all gonna do whatever. But as long as you got you together, I think that's the foundation where you should go from.
Yeah.
We could do a whole show on this right here. Really, sure. On this just right here, because this whole money thing, I'm just so grateful to be in a situation that we don't even deal with that. We just work together. I mean, it's just
that's good.
We don't even. I mean, and because I've been in situations where that was prioritized way too much. And be with somebody who's on the same page and you just working together.
Yeah.
Because I got her back no matter what. She's got mine, but I really got hers. I mean, if she lost her job tomorrow, we'd be all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even tripping on that stuff. But I just know that in my heart. That's the other thing, too. I believe, and this is just me, the heart of a husband always wants to do that, in my opinion. But as Saleem mentioned, he's right. Women today are doing so well. And I think that women more so have to come to terms with exactly where they are with what they're doing and how that fits into a whole wife scenario. If they want to be a wife, how they can support the man as a wife and still doing. You got to come together and work that out, because these times today, Saleem is right. These women are real well. And some of these women are doing so well that they don't know what to do with themselves. They say, well, if you ain't doing what I'm doing, why ain't you doing what I'm doing? I'm doing it. And it's
some of them try to buy you.
It's bad. So I'm just saying that I'm just glad I don't have to deal with that anymore. Ooh, I feel like we're dancing right now. Yeah. I'm just saying, so anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there.
No, thank you. Thank you with women having higher incomes in the relationship.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Just to that last point, there was a woman I dated about a year and a half ago. I'm sitting at her place in the Gucci store over in Rodeo Drive, calls and leaves her a personalized message saying we have this in, and she's saying something racist. And that's where that 17,000 figure came from. And my thought then was, man, the first property I bought back in Pennsylvania was a sheriff's sale for $18,500. So it just didn't compute for me.
And she's buying a bag for 17. Yeah.
It shouldn't, Saleem, you're right. It should not compute, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
Are they okay with it? I think that most men are okay with it, but they're the ones that may not be okay with it. And
that's a great point, brother.
At any given moment, and that's what I would be concerned about. And then the last point I'll make is that there are more than a few women out there who believe that we actually want them for their money. That's a joke. It's an utter joke. We do not want women for their money. I don't care how much money you make. We are not going to get with you for your money. Okay. And so a lot of women think that when they're successful, and it's a mistake.
Yeah.
You don't care about that. Now, if you have success, we're happy for you. If we love you and we happen to be together, that's great. We do benefit from that, I guess. But that ain't why we getting together. There are other things going on, and a lot of women believe that, I make $300,000, I'm a catch. Nope.
Well, I'll be honest. If Kelly Rowland becomes single, and
please, message this guy or something. Like, I like Kelly too. But I'll say this again from a Black woman standpoint. Women are different. You know, we're all not the same. We all don't have the same beliefs, which you guys know. Some women do believe that the man has to make more than them. You know, I'm a firm believer in it doesn't matter what you make, it's how you use it, how you spend it. Are you smart? You know, are you saving? Are you investing? Like, it doesn't matter, but it's about us working together.
If you are dating a man who can't take care of himself, well, that's a whole nother person.
Yeah, that's different.
So I'm saying that in my roughest times financially, I've always been able to take care of myself and have never looked to a woman to take care of me, even though it's been told to me that way. And I just think, I'm like, what planet are you on? So, to Chris's point, if a man comes at you and he's living with his mama or he can't pay his bills and he's asking for money, that's a different character right there.
Different, yeah.
That's a different character. But somehow there are some women out there who have maybe gravitated to that character, right?
It's a surprise.
And then in their mind, that's what all the men that are coming at them are about because they have money. It's a confused state for them.
That's a
they may choose that for themselves and then come up with upon another dude who may not be making as much as she's making, but then they assume he's trying to take her money. It's nuts. It's just not real.
Yeah,
so Dr. Bob,
be able to isolate real situations and say, okay, this was happening with this guy, but this guy is not doing that. And I find that for them, especially women who are doing well for themselves, it's very difficult for some of them to make the differentiation.
You know, I just to add on to what the gentleman was saying, they do overthink it, and there's so much going on because, you know, how do you really decide? I mean, do you really even indulge how much you really, you know what I'm saying? Like, do we, you know, unless we really together and, you know, they never really gonna know anyway, you know. All of this is all of it is a facade, right? These bags, these cars, these clothes, you know, all the shit that we really don't need. But, you know, we're all label whores. Let's just be honest, you know, and it means absolutely nothing. But they take that and they use that as a way to judge a man or judge a situation. You know, they might look at his watch, his shoes, whatever, right? But in today's world, I've always heard that it's okay for the woman to either marry or go after a gentleman with money, but a man is looked as less of a man if he goes after a woman with money. So,
my marriage previously, when I was making good money, and I will be transparent in saying I had the mindset. You know, I was young, and I had the mindset. I don't need him for everything. You know what I mean? And so sometimes before you mature, you have that mindset. So that's why it's important to have conversations with your significant other, because it takes some people more time to mature. No, I don't think that way at all anymore. But back then, I was guilty of that. You know, any argument or anything, just saying, hey, okay, well, I don't need you. You know, and that's the worst thing you could say. That's the worst thing you could say, because a man needs to feel needed and respected, and that's disrespectful. And so it's just something that I want to share with the women, that no matter how much you earn, you know, no matter what your credentials are, that doesn't matter to him, you know. And so you just want to be sure that you're working in a partnership. And you know, it's just not a way. It's not a way to speak in a marriage. And she asked, "Are you more attracted to physical appearance or intellectual abilities at this stage in your life?"
You know, I'll be honest. I still have some vanity, and the physical is there, but the intellectual matters and always has. I remember my aunt trying to push me on The Preacher's Daughter when I was about 25. And I happen to know the woman my whole life, and we ended up going out, and she doesn't read the news. She doesn't do this. She just wasn't thinking about anything inside of a book or anything really intellectual. And that would never work for me,
Yeah, I hear you. Especially because you are an intellectual, so I understand that. Carl, physical appearance or intellectual abilities?
For me, it's a mixture. I have a theory, especially living in LA, and I've lived here for over 30 years, and there's not a day that goes by. Well, before COVID, I don't go out that much anymore, obviously, but not a day that goes by that I don't see another one finer. I mean, literally, in this city, every day I go out the house, there's another bad one. So that said, you gotta have it balanced a little bit. I got into a discussion with somebody about this in the thread. She kind of got mad at me. Someone asked about, a really, really fat girl with, and guys would say, no way, no way, no way. And the women got mad. So then I said, okay, well, would you date a broke dude? And they got mad that I brought that up. It's basically the same thing. So,
Right.
So I think that it's just balance, I can tell you too that having been married, you got to have something stronger than that physical thing to last, because we all age, and my wife is beautiful, more beautiful today than she ever was, and she's almost 60. I look at her when she's sleeping and she's beautiful to me. It's because of the connection, the soul connection, And I just think that and we all also have our own thing, and we're entitled to that. Sure. So whatever you're placing your treasure in, whatever is important to you, as long as you're responsible for that, because if you got to balance that out, because over a long period of time, it may come like to bite you. So as long as we're responsible for whatever our choices are, we're okay. There's no wrong answer, is there?
No wrong answer. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in a nutshell, CL, how about you, intellectual or physical?
Believe it or not, I'm to the point where I'm more into the intellectual than I am with the physical. My mother has played a huge role in my life since I was young, and I don't know, she probably thought that I was going to be attractive one day, and she made sure that that she was on me from day one, and she told me so many things, such as, Chris, you're only as attractive as your personality. When you're choosing a mate, looks should probably be the last thing you consider. And just like the brother was saying, I know so many females watching Channel Zero, like they, their head just, like they talking to me. I'm like, baby, you talking to me? Are you rapping to me? Or you talking to me? It's like, they're quoting this, and they all over the place. The most beautiful people do the ugliest things.
You basically, when you're in a dating situation, you're gathering data. So I think that men and women have ways they can really find out exactly who they're dealing with pretty easily, right?
Yeah.
Being kind is the right way to be. Okay. So if you run across a man who cannot deal with your kindness, that tells you, good or bad, no judgment, he may not be the man for you. Similarly, if I'm taking you out, and let's say I open doors for you, I want to open the door for you, okay, because I want to be chivalrous. I don't mind telling that woman that I'd like to open the door for you. And she's, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know, I'm not used to that. And now I'm opening the door for her. But if that same woman or a different woman, I say I want to open the door for her, she says, well, I'd rather do it myself. Why got you open the door for me? That's also a data signal from me that that's the last date.
Got it.
So it's all about, to me, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely. I hear you. Well, guys, listen, I totally appreciate your input, everything you've said today. I want to wrap up with one last question, and I'm just going to come to each of you. We've been talking about Valentine's Day menu, which, of course, we've used here just as an analogy, a metaphor. But if there was one thing that has not been on the menu I presented to you, and you really, really want to order this one particular thing, it wasn't on the menu tonight, but it's one thing you want to add to the menu that you absolutely need from a woman, what would it be, Saleem?
Simply emotional intelligence.
Mm.
The ability to know, to be present and to understand that space. Women oftentimes carry the past, and not women, just people carry the past with them of things that they haven't resolved. And understanding emotional intelligence will get you to the point of resolving those issues, whether it's something within your family that you need to resolve with a particular person, or something within yourself and your self-esteem. So just being aware of that, and also just being aware that I am not the I am not the person required to provide you happiness. Like, I can't do that. That has to come from within you.
Wow.
Right.
I'm here just to help boost it up.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. CL, what would you add to the menu?
I would add on to what the brother just said. Self-esteem comes from self. I can't help build your sense of self-worth.
And Carl, last but not least.
Wow, I love the emotional intelligence answer. I mean, that's a drop the mic one. Because the reason why that's so important, and I think CL touched on this, is that when they don't have that level of emotional intelligence, it comes back on you. They will try to bring you down.
Yeah.
And it becomes you just down in the gutter because they don't have the ability to discern anything emotional. They go to the least common denominator. It's horrible. So I'm going to say this. I would say mutual and shared purpose. And I drop that into the whole scheme of marriage. I think that is really the most important thing. If I were single, that's what I learned. That's what I really learned. My lesson from the past missteps is I need a woman who shares my purpose, and I mean it exactly like that. That doesn't mean that she didn't have hers, because the woman that I love, I will support whatever she's doing. My wife's written a book, she sings. We work together on producing projects she wants to do. So whatever my wife wants to do, I'm in. Okay. Yeah. But she must share. She must see my whole, my heart and my soul, what my thing that I'm called to do in my life. Without that, we can just date.
Ladies, know your toxic trait. Know your toxic trait, baby. You'll see it coming before you even do it, or you'll catch yourself in it.
Woo! Y'all got into some. So I am a counselor, for those of you who don't know, and you guys got into some things, and I'm not even going to start with it. But I will say this: all of your answers were exceptional, and I love them because they weren't on the surface, And the way I'll summarize that between the three of you is to heal, ladies. You've got to heal. Right. I did a show before and with some relationship coaches, and they talked about healing while dating. And I actually disagree with that. I thought that you should heal before. And the reason I say that is because it encompasses what you said, toxic traits and self-esteem and emotional intelligence, and all of that goes together. So if you're not healed, what happens is you're going to bring in all of the issues from your past relationship into your new relationship. So take some time in your singleness, ladies. That's what I want to say. Take some time in your singleness. No, it may not be fun. Yes, it may get lonely at times. Yes, it's Valentine's Day coming up. So what? Just today. Okay. The 15th will not be Valentine's Day. Okay? So don't worry yourself with all of that. Continue to do you. Carl said that he and his wife shared their purpose. I think that is exceptional. Keep walking in your purpose. Do what you do. Don't sit at home and cry and whine about how you're single, hitting up 15 to 20 people in the DMs a day, going on all these different sites, giving yourself away to people who don't deserve you. That's not going to help you find a man quicker. And so my advice is just to get to know who you are in your singleness, in your time of being alone. I'm working on the book now, and I'm talking about the difference between loneliness and aloneness. They are different things. And so Just don't wallow in your loneliness. Keep doing what you're doing. And trust me, he will find you. It may seem like forever for those of you who've been single for forever. Like, I know the feeling. I was single forever. It felt like it wasn't forever, but it felt like. But he will find you, I promise. And the man who deserves you and the man you deserve will find you. Thank you so much, gentlemen.